All right, everyone. Thank you again for listening to the American Nightmare podcast. This is episode 36, recorded on March 18th, 2021.
Woohoo!
Nice.
All right. Let's get started with a little bit of horror news. Bunch of stuff going on in the horror world today. South by Southwest has been digital because of COVID, but now we have a new movie coming out starring Barbara Crampton called Jacob's Wife, and apparently it's got some really great reviews.
Huh. What do we get for like a synopsis? Like what's
Anne is is married to a small town minister and feels
Jacob.
like her life and marriage have been shrinking over the past 30 years. After a chance encounter with the master, she discovers a new sense of power and an appetite to live bigger and bolder than before. Anne is increasingly torn between her enticing new existence and her life before. The body count grows, and Jacob realizes he will have to fight for the wife that he took for granted.
The master is like it's probably like a vampire. Then I'm thinking,
Perhaps,
like,
yeah. And the trailer is pretty good. I'll post the trailer on the website, and I'll probably post it on the Facebook too. But it looks really good.
Nice.
This is coming from a Dread Central, a little news article on Dread Central. Yeah. So Barbara Crampton, first of all, she is just a classic scream queen. I love her in everything she's in. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing her in something new.
yes.
Apparently, we have Rob Zombie talking about the possibility of doing the Munsters.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
That's pretty sweet. Although, of course, it's a vehicle for Sherry Moon Zombie to.
of course.
I'm assuming she'll be Lily.
Probably. But yeah, that's it's a little interview here. I saw an hour and ahead. Interesting read. I'll post a link to it. But yeah, the possibility of him doing something with the Munsters is interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'd probably check it out. I like Zombie for the most part. I liked the Munsters when they were out. Like, it'll be interesting to see his take on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's hit or miss, but he is one of those classic monster guys, and he really does love the Munsters. So I think he'll do it justice.
Yeah, I'm interested to see his twist on it. Like, is he going to keep it like PG, or is it going to be like the Firefly family, but the Munsters?
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah. New trailer posted online for a new alien horror movie called Embryo. Let's see what we got here. A little summary on that. Kevin and his girlfriend Evelyn are camping in the woods when she is abducted and impregnated by an otherworldly being. As the entity inside her begins to grow at a rapid rate, Evelyn's cravings can only be satiated by the taste of human flesh. When she brutally attacks a doctor, and they go on the run in a big city where they can find help to remove the embryo that is slowly taking over Evelyn's body.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, there's a nice little trailer that looks really freaking interesting. Another one that I'm just absolutely ready to watch. I can't wait to see when this one comes out. Let's see, where is it going to be distributed?
Yeah, I was just going to say, is that a Shudder or?
It's going to be available on digital late April. It's going to premiere at Fright Fest 2020, which I think we mentioned that once before. Fright Fest is going to be an online streaming event this year. I probably won't attend, but it's going to be a screening of it there.
Cool.
Let the Right One In is looking like it's going to be reworked as a TV series.
Nah.
Yes. In other words, it's another way for an American to fuck up a great foreign film.
Yeah, you really can't drag that on much longer than the movie either, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what are they gonna like go to high school then together?
Well, the
and
goal
like,
here is as the girl has been traveling from place to place.
so
with
they're
her
just gonna-
with her handler.
Ah.
So I don't know.
Hmm.
I do know that they're talking about. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. I don't foresee this as being anything great, but yeah. Let's see what the concept says here. The concept is Mark, a father, and his 12-year-old daughter Eleanor, whose lives were changed forever 10 years earlier when she turned into a vampire. Locked in a cage, 12, perhaps forever, Eleanor lives a closed-in life, able only to go out at night where her father does his best to provide her with a minimal amount of human blood she needs to stay alive. The movie, the foreign film was great. The American adaptation was garbage. I expect this to be garbage too.
Yep.
Yeah, it isn't. I don't know. I probably won't.
Original one was phenomenal.
Absolutely. The original foreign film was stellar. Loved it. It's on my list of movies that I watch frequently.
Yeah.
Blumhouse and Epix team up for a horror thriller in a house on the bayou.
Interesting.
Yes, it's a Blumhouse trailer now comes out called Welcome to the Blumhouse. It's an unexpected premium network. Epix and Blumhouse today announced that their partnership with Jason Blum's television company will develop and produce eight elevated standalone horror genre thriller movies exclusively for the Epix network.
Well, they did that with Prime, and none of those were really good.
No, there was
that?
some. Yeah, there was yeah.
Was it The Lie? There was.
Yeah, there was a couple that I enjoyed. There was a Halloween. Like they had them all based on the different like holidays throughout the year.
Yeah.
There was like one a month. There was a couple that I actually really liked. I mean, they weren't like 5 out of 5 stars, but they were like 2.5 or 3, which it's if you're looking for something to watch, there were some decent ones.
The first film is going to be called A House on the Bayou, and it's going to be from writer-director Alex Mccoy, who directed and wrote Don't Tell a Soul. It's going to commence production in late spring, and they're aiming to get this released on Epix by December 2021. You know, Blumhouse, again, is hit or miss a lot of times. They make a lot of great films, but there's been a couple that were poo-poo.
They've made some stinkers, too, yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the Cajun horror genre either, but...
Yo, man, dude, backwoods shit scares the fuck out of me. I'm not, not a big fan of it either, but it does scare the shit out of me. Nothing worse than a bunch of rednecks in the bayou.
Or
just look at House of 1,000 Corpses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
Mortal Kombat has released new footage of the opening sequence.
Nice.
You can watch that TV spot and new trailer on YouTube. It actually looks pretty freaking good. It's not
I think it looks good.
I don't know if we can call it horror, but sure, it's got a lot of gore in it and stuff. So it's gonna be it'll be something that we talk about when it comes out.
Yep.
Yeah, we sometimes talk about things that aren't horror, like tomorrow the Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes out, or
Totally stoked for it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
All right. Well, Godzilla versus Kong. Bam! Mechagodzilla confirmed.
Oh yeah, you saw him in the trailer.
The trailer.
Saw it in the trailer, and now the new trailer has even more information. And Funko Pop Toys made a mistake and advertised the Mechagodzilla toy for the movie.
Oh man, way to go, Funko!
Yeah, nothing like a
Funko'd it up.
Yeah, nothing like a toy company to screw up the reveal. But apparently, it's pretty cool. It lights up. The flames that come out of his mouth glow in the dark. It's pretty cool.
Sweet.
It looks really neat. I kind of wonder what the actual full Mechagodzilla will look like in the movie, but I'm stoked for it.
Yeah, I can't wait. The only thing is it stinks is like it's one of those ones I really would have liked to see on IMAX.
Yeah.
You know, like it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I watch it from the comfort of my own couch, but
that's the funny thing is theaters are starting to open up. Like right here in California, they just are getting ready to open. We're going into the orange tier, I believe, early next week. They're predicting we'll be in the orange tier, and when that happens, the movie theaters will open back up. And I'm not going until I get it.
Yeah, same here, man. Not until I get vaccinated. I'm not going to places like that.
I don't like to play Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage. The delay has been the release has been delayed until September.
Bummer.
Yeah. And this is kind of a fall down effect or domino effect from the multiple Sony and MCU movies that have been delayed along the line here. The issue is that there's the delay with Spider-Man and such. They need to push this back a little further because there's some other events that take place that connect to this. So, it is what it is. We kind of expected this, with last year, all the delays. I'm still kind of concerned that there's been no word on whether or not the May release date for the Black Widow movie has not yet been confirmed to still be on point. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Well, and they said there was a couple things that took place like within WandaVision that should have been after that came, but it is what it is, Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
I am eager to see Let There Be Carnage. I mean, I don't love the Sony Spider-Verse shit that they're doing, all these different things. Like the Spider-Verse anime was awesome.
Yeah,
the
I like
original
that.
Venom movie. The special effects were great and all, but the story was just garbage.
Yeah, and I like Tom Hardy as Venom.
Yeah,
but you can only do so much with a pile of shit,
Yeah. Let's see. I think there might be 2 other ones here. There's another trailer called Witness Infection. This is a horror comedy movie.
Oh, nice.
It's a story about 2 rival mob families that are transferred from the witness protection program to the same city by mistake. Life has always been pretty protected for Carlos Sorelli, but his past is about to come back to haunt him. Carlos' father has kept him out of the deadly mob business by giving him a job in the family dog groomers, while his younger brother, Dominic, has always done the dirty work. All this is coming to an end as Carlos' father has to force him to keep an arranged marriage with the daughter of the rival Miliola family. Carlos' 2 best friends, Gina and Vince, vow to help him get out of this predicament. But they all get in the way of their heads when a serious infection starts eating the town. The good news is that Carlo may not have to get married after all, but the bad news is that everyone might die. The trailer is actually pretty goddamn funny looking. Witness infection, like witness protection, witness.
Yeah,
infection.
it sounds like it's got potential.
Yeah. Apparently, it's got some accolades from the Portland Horror Festival. Got the best director from the International Online Film Festival, the HA Comedy Arts Festival. It got accolades from there, and also from the Frostbite Film Festival. It got the Best Practical Effects Award.
Oh, nice.
So looking forward to that. I love practical effects. So
yeah.
Let's see. I think I might have had one more. No, I don't. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. You guys got anything?
I just I've been almost caught up on Servant. I got 1 episode to go yet till I'm all the way caught up to the present. I think the season finale just happened last week.
Yeah, I'm on episode 9 on season 2. We haven't watched 9 yet, so
I will say this.
10.
I liked season 1 better.
Okay.
Yeah, this just gets kind of like more and more crazy. Like I'm just like, what?
Off the
what the
rails,
hell's going
bro. It's off the rails.
It's M. Night Shyamalan, man.
I mean, it was crazy in the first season, but you still saw the track where the train was on.
Yeah.
Now the train's like in the woods somewhere. Like what the?
As I said to my daughter, I said this season is off the rails. Like it's really almost to the point where I'm like, if they come out with a third season, I might not watch it because the end of this season.
Well, I didn't see the end, so I don't. I got one more to go yet. So, and I just watched a good movie the other night. You guys should check it out, but it's not for free yet anywhere. I purchased it on Prime for like $3. Bloody Hell.
Bloody Hell.
Yeah, it's. Did you see it?
I think I watched the trailer for it.
Yeah, it's a dude who like helps like save a bunch of people at a bank robbery, but he accidentally kills somebody in the bank robbery too, so he goes away to prison for a while. And when he gets out of prison, he's like a celebrity-ish. Guy's like a little mental though, and he's trying to get away from everybody, so he takes a trip to Finland. And when he's in Finland, he gets abducted by this crazy family who like ties him up in their basement.
Yeah,
it's I don't know, I forget who the guy is. I know his name, and I've heard of him before. The main actor. He's great because throughout the movie, he talks to himself, but he's actually like he plays both roles of himself and the asshole himself that he's talking to.
Yeah,
it was a really good movie.
Nice. I actually started watching that TV series Prodigal Son.
Oh yeah, how's that?
I love it. Holy shit. Yeah. My sister was pinging me saying you got to watch this series Prodigal Son.
So what channel is that on, Sal?
It's on HBO Max. I believe.
Okay.
I believe it originally aired on Fox or something, and it might be on Hulu. I wonder if it's on Hulu too.
Okay.
Might be.
Check that out.
It's really good though, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm watching about 2 or 3 episodes a night. It's that good.
Okay,
like
good.
Like a 45-minute.
Yeah, because I like those.
It's just about an hour actually per episode.
Oh, okay.
And there's
I like
20
those
episodes in
detective.
season 1, and season 2 starts in January.
Okay. Is
so
it
only
like?
one
Did you
season,
see
that's fine.
Mindhunter, Sal? Is it
Yeah,
like
it's kind of
Mindhunter?
like that because you have this one guy who's like a perfect profiler.
Yeah, see, I love that show, Mindhunter. I was so sad when it like sort of.
He's like a perfect profiler of killers, and he's working with the police department, and he like picks up everything like right away. But intertwined to that, episodic stories of each crime that they're trying to solve.
Does they go to like crime scenes? Like it gets like dark and weird?
There's gory stuff. It's pretty pretty good. It's
I'm gonna
pretty
watch
gory,
it.
pretty nasty, lots of blood and gore and body parts.
Watch it.
And then the thing is like there's an intertwining story that he's trying to figure out what happened to his past. Like when he caught his father, committing the crime, and he called the police, he found a girl's body inside of like a chest. But when the cops got there was no girl. And throughout his whole life, his mom was like, there was no girl in the chest. And the cops were like, there was never a girl in the chest. And his dad was like, I never had a girl in the chest. But he's dreaming about it, and he's starting to find clues and elements that there really was a woman's body in that chest.
Cool.
And it turns out there's crazy shit happened to him as a kid, and he's unraveling the mystery as he.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good.
Yeah.
So I watched on my end, Come to Daddy.
Oh yeah, how was that? It's on
It
my
was really
list.
good. It was really good. It was really
it's on
good.
my list too. That's what's his name? Elijah Wood,
Elijah
right?
Wood.
yeah.
Yep. It's
Really
different. I liked it a whole bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, I have that in my queue.
Is it comedic at all, or is it just straight up horror?
Yeah. No, it is. It is. Yep.
All right. Cool.
It is. Yeah. It's definitely comedic. Yeah. It's good. It's good. It takes a little bit for it to get going, but once it gets going, it's pretty good.
Fantastic.
I'll give movies a bit till I decide whether to write them off or not.
Yep. If you guys want to save it for one of the podcast movies too, we can do that. But.
Yeah, sure. That would be fun. All right. Let's get on with the top 5 this month.
Oh, and I did see Devil All the Time. That was freaking dark.
Right.
Was good though, right?
Oh yeah, the characters in that movie.
And the acting
Dude,
was
preacher,
phenomenal.
The preacher.
Robert Pattinson, yeah, that dude was great.
Creepy motherfucker.
Yeah, the actor, like whoever wrote the characters in that, just really good imagination. Just
Not only that, just the quality of actors in there. I'll say that,
Oh yeah.
For what's his face that plays Spider-Man? What's his name?
Toby, no, that's not Toby McGuire. Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. That kid's a great actor.
He really is. Yeah, he was great.
I just watched him in that new movie Cherry. He's freaking great in that too. That kid has got some serious acting chops.
Yeah. No, it was a good movie. It wasn't what I expected, but yeah, it was good.
Really
All
good.
right. So let's talk the top 5. Top 5 this month is top 5 horror movies based on books.
Came up with a new one.
Right, and this time it is Sal, Craig, Chris.
Alrighty.
Right, so let me get a start here. My number 5, Psycho, 1960.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, that is the slasher film to start all slasher films.
Yeah.
Based on the real-life murders done by Ed Gein. Just kind of like... It's interesting, the story behind it. I don't know if you've ever watched that documentary.
So that's like, didn't like Hitchcock used to write all his own stuff, right?
No, he actually, for this one, for Psycho.
No, but I'm saying typically he would.
Typically he would write his own stuff. But for this one, he read a book that was getting ready to be published.
Yeah.
Before it was published, he read the book and loved it so much and wanted to make it a movie that when the book finally did get published, he bought every copy so that no one could read it before he made the movie.
Wow.
That's slick.
Yeah, there's a really great documentary about it that's pretty awesome. And then of course, I love this movie so much. There's another documentary I think I told you guys about that was 78/35 or whatever. The 78 cuts of the scene at the beginning of the movie. Just love that movie. It's an awesome classic based on a book. My number 4, Misery.
Nice.
Okay.
Now, Misery, of course, the story in the film is a slight variation of what's actually in the book, but still, I think it was a very good and noteworthy adaptation.
Yeah, this is going to be tough with the Stephen King, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many.
Yep.
I tried to limit my Stephen King.
I know, I did too.
Trying to find other stuff.
My number 3, Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Based on a
nice.
fantastic Clive Barker book.
I met Clive Barker.
And the movie is just as great as the book is.
Movie gave me nightmares back in the
day. Amazing book and amazing movie.
Yep.
My number 2 is American Psycho.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
American Psycho, again, great book, great movie. Just a bunch of great scenes in there that are commonly requoted one-liners that you could pull up at any time.
They made that into a Broadway musical too. Apparently,
really?
I didn't know that, but I found that out that it was actually made into a Broadway musical.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And my number 1 horror movie based on a book, It.
Oh.
Now, when I say It, I'm saying
I'm surprised. I thought
you'd
have another
the new
answer.
versions of it. The new
not the original.
Yes, not the original.
No offense to Tim Curry.
No offense at all. I really enjoyed the new.
No, he was a good Pennywise.
Yeah, he absolutely was. Yeah. And then I got a couple honorable mentions. The Exorcist, of course, because that was a classic horror movie based on a book.
Yeah. Right.
Interview with the Vampire, another fantastic vampire movie based on a great Anne Rice book. And of course, The Haunting of Hill House. Now, that wasn't necessarily a movie, but the TV series on Netflix.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice list.
All right, Craig.
Okay, my number 5, I have Misery.
Awesome.
I'm trying to see if that's my only
Stephen
King. It is not. So, number 4, I went with Let the Right One In.
Yep, great one.
That was a novel.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Like, there was because I was trying to not just do Stephen King, I was kind of like looking for stuff. I was like, well, is there anything else that I like? That like, I didn't know that one was based off an actual like book. So, learned something with this one.
Yep. Number 3, I have Gerald's Game.
That was a great adaptation, I thought.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that one on Netflix?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did we review that, maybe we just all talked about it?
But we did talk about it because we were talking about Stephen King's contract with Netflix. Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. And number 2, I have The Exorcist.
Nice.
And I thought Sal would have this one as his number 1. I have Jaws for my number 1.
I was going to add it to the list, but I like Jaws, but there were others I liked better.
Yeah. And then honorable mention, I have Salem's Lot, another Stephen King.
Nice. Yes, Stephen King. I mean, like,
you really, you really can't escape it.
No. Yeah. And you want to, but I'm like, but I really like that movie. Like,
yeah.
You know, Nice.
Yep.
Good list. All right, so my number 5 is The Thing.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
That's based off a book called Who Goes There?
Yep.
I loved the original. I mean, well, not the black and white
remake,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first remake, the one with Kurt Russell in it. Such a great movie. My number 4, The Exorcist.
There you go. Yep.
We've got a lot of similar movies here. My number 3, American Psycho.
Nice.
And like I said, I found out that it was made into a musical too. It would be sweet if they like brought it back. I would go see that. My number 2, Hellraiser.
Nice.
And my number 1 is It.
So much overlap this month.
Yeah, we didn't talk about these lists at all, and I get that there's not there's quite a few movies based off of books. Yeah. And I tried to avoid the Stephen King. I got 3 honorable mentions. I got Misery, Psycho, and The Invisible Man.
Oh, nice. Invisible Man was a good one too.
Surprised nobody went with Shining.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was going to put it on my list, but let me tell you, the reason why I didn't is because the film strayed so far from the book.
Yeah.
That what was the point?
I like Dr. Sleep. That was a really.
Oh yeah.
I liked that a lot. I don't know how we talked about that. That was pretty close to the book. You thought, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Very good.
A lot of the same one.
Yeah. Very good. Awesome. That was very good. All right.
I got to stretch here a little bit before we start talking about this movie.
Let's see. The movie that we watched this month that we're going to review is I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Available on Netflix. Came out, I guess, during the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me. I want to bring up some information.
I think late 2020. Like I want to say like fall of 2020.
Yep. So Thinking of Ending Things was on Netflix. IMDb gives it a 6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gives it 82%. Metacritic gives it 78%. And Google review gives it 51%. It came out September 4th.
That was a novel also, I think,
That's
right?
correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yep.
And it strays horrifically from the novel, according to everything that I read.
Yeah, you know what?
Let me tell you. So here's the thing. This is written, directed by Charlie Kaufman. The screenplay is written by Charlie Kaufman, and it's adapted from a book called I'm Thinking of Ending Things. It starred Jesse Plemons as Jake, Jesse Buckley as Lucy, Toni Collette as the mother,
Phenomenal acting.
David Thewlis as the father. I mean, it's an all-star cast of great actors.
And they were great.
They were absolutely on point, worthy of Academy Awards. Like these.
Toni Collette isn't bad in anything she does. Either, right?
Absolutely. She is an Academy Award winner and absolutely deserves every award she gets because she's an amazing actress. And this movie, just those actors, the roles were impeccable. It was fantastic.
Yeah, whatever those roles were. Yeah, like I mean, they were they played those roles, whatever they were. I was impressed.
Now, let me say, Charlie Kaufman, of course, has a long history of writing wacky movies that are just off of the realm of sanity, right? And this movie was no exception to that. No. In fact, I will say this. I watched this movie the week it came out because I love Charlie Kaufman, and I heard so much about it when it was being made that I was like, this is something I have got to watch. So I did watch it right away, my daughter and I. And I will say, when it was over, I kind of sat there trying to figure out what the fuck did I just watch? Like,
especially that last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
When it really, like, you're like, whoa.
But at the very end, you suddenly realize exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, shit.
But in the weirdest way. Like, to finally, like, spell out the what the point was that was trying to come across in the movie was done in a way that you're just like, oh, what? All right, well.
Yes. But I will say this. This is one of those movies watching it multiple times is rewarding because
And this is a 2022, so we want to keep.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to spoil anything.
Okay.
It's going to be kind of hard to, I think.
Yeah. But I will say watching the movie multiple times is rewarding because you begin to understand once you've gotten to the end,
right?
And then you watch it again, you see some very subtle things that were telling you all along what was going on, and you just couldn't put it together while watching it.
I think that's one thing that I wish I would have done different. Like I just watched it 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
So it was fresh in my mind for tonight.
Yeah.
But it's not really fresh in my mind for tonight because I'm still unpacking the whole thing.
Right. And there's
like I've unpacked it better, so I kind of feel more like what I felt. I think I felt during that movie and what it meant. But I still need more time and maybe even to go back and watch it a second time.
Right. Right. Now the role in there, they don't necessarily say the name of Lucy very much at all. I don't think. In fact, I think in the book, according to the author, in the book they never really give her a name, and Charlie Kaufman went to the range of giving her a name. However, you'll notice that the author of the story is the old man himself. And he's not a very good teller of the tale of his life because he keeps intertwining moments that overlap with each other. The dinner scene was the most impressive scene because everything kept changing.
Oh my God, dude. I had to pause and take a break. It was making me crazy. Like, I'm just what the hell is going on?
Right. It was causing anxiety. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's where I thought Tony
Collette anxiety at the end of that movie.
Right. Yeah. Right. And now I just want to give a spoiler warning because I want to talk about this because there's so many things in it I want to talk about, but I'm going to give details that if you didn't watch the movie, it may be a spoiler to you. So if you haven't watched the movie, let's pause here, go watch the movie, come back and listen to what we're talking about, and maybe you'll understand.
And listen to what we think about the movie.
Yeah.
Because you may form your own opinions on it. It's interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not a traditional horror, and personally, for a second there, I was like, why is this listed as a horror?
Right.
But then there was one scene, and it was at the dinner scene where she's explaining her paintings to the father.
Yeah.
And he was like, I paint landscapes, and he's like, oh, so it's like a person, and she's like, no, and she showed her them pictures, and it was just the landscape, and he's like, well, how do you know how to feel when you look at this? And she's like, well, it's however I feel when I paint it. And so I was like, oh, I that makes sense. Like this horror movie, depends on how you're feeling when you watch it.
Right.
Don't watch it depressed.
Yeah, if you're depressed, this is not the fucking
Don't
movie
watch
for you.
it depressed.
Yeah, because this is a real downer. This movie, especially at the end, once you realize exactly what's going on, it's like, oh shit. God.
Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, go watch it yourself.
Yeah. All right. So particularly the scene that to me was the dinner scene, right? And it was illustrating the fact that the author, the person himself who's telling the story of his own life, has all the timelines, all the events of his life are kind of blurry. He's not really putting them together correctly. So he's not authoring the story of his life very clearly because he doesn't really remember everything quite as well as he should. And at the end, you kind of realize because
why.
Right, you realize why, and all along they kind of keep hinting. You keep seeing the janitor, the old guy.
Yeah,
and you're like, what are they cutting to these clips of this old dude for?
Yeah, but mopping the floor, watching the high school play, or
but when you watch it the second time,
it all makes sense.
Right, like even right at the very beginning, where the girlfriend is standing on the side of the car, and standing at the street, and the first thing you hear is, "I'm thinking of ending things."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how it starts.
And then she starts talking about her boyfriend and how their relationship is really kind of a wild, passionate relationship, but yet something just isn't right about it, and she's thinking about ending things. And at that moment, you see the old man in the building right above her, looking out the window. So
and you hear that whisper.
Yes.
That she keeps hearing in her cell phone messages.
Right, and not only that, while they're driving the car, you kind of get the impression that is he a psychic or something? Because it's like he's hearing her inner thoughts.
Yeah.
She's staring out the window, and again she says, "I'm thinking about ending things."
And then the camera work is great too there.
Right. But he again, it's like he starts interrupting her, like he hears what she's thinking, and you're thinking, well, how the fuck can he hear what she's thinking?
Yeah, several times.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't just like a one-off. We're like, he got lucky there. He thought he heard her say something. It was several times. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Exactly. And they're basically boyfriend and girlfriend. They've been dating for a while, according to her narration, which of course we find out at the end. Her narration is really him. It's really his thoughts. It's really his memories of a girl he once dated, and it almost gives you the impression that he may not have actually dated her very long.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't even know if he really dated her. Like,
it might have been someone
the
that
impression I got. Like,
simply
he saw
in.
her in that story about seeing her during the trivia night was real.
Yes.
And what I took away from it was that he wished that he would have done more to like talk to her and bring her into his life.
Yes.
Now these are all thoughts of woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah.
After he's old now and
yes.
He's funneling in his ideals of what he thinks this girl would have been like and how maybe his life would have been different.
Would have been better, than
right,
how it turned
right.
out. Yeah. And then
I don't know if he dated her. I really don't.
Right, that's the thing. You don't know. But I assume that at some point they may have dated because the cell phone rings and it's her. It's her cell phone ringing with her calling herself. The caller is Lucy as she pulls the phone out of her pocket.
But it changed a couple times too, though.
Yes,
when
it did.
Called.
You're right. But
that could be because he's not remembering the right name.
Right.
Again, these are all things like you try to piece together when you're watching it.
And the thing about it is, GQ magazine did some magazine did like an interview with Charlie Kaufman saying, "Dude, you have got to explain to me what the fuck is going on in this movie." And he goes, "Listen, I'm not going to tell you what's going on. I want you to interpret it for yourself, but I want you to know that ultimately."
Maybe he doesn't know.
Well, no, he says ultimately the story is about a man who is ready to end his life.
Yeah.
And he's thinking about all the things that he did, all the decisions he made or didn't make, all the poor judgments, all the good judgments, all the people that harassed him for being the outcast, the loser, the loner.
Those girls at the ice cream stand.
Right. And if you look, those girls at the ice cream stand were the girls in the hallway where he worked as a janitor. So he was just misrepresenting that harassment from those high school kids as this in the book it was a Dairy Queen, in the film it was this made up name place,
Terrytown or something.
Yeah.
Did you read the book, Sal?
No, I read the interview with Charlie Kaufman. He was showing he was talking about the things that he changed and why he changed them and some of the things like that. But basically he's not going to explain it to anybody. He said the movie is for you to interpret. I'm just giving you a general outline of what's going on. You decide exactly what is going on there, what exactly happened.
So that's the art, kind of like I said about like the girl with her paintings.
Right. And that, as a matter of fact, that scene isn't in the book. He put that scene in there as a message about this movie. It's not about what he's telling you to see.
What do you feel when you watch it?
Right, exactly. What do you think this movie is about? How do you feel while watching this movie?
Right. And it depends on your state of mind when you watch it.
And let me tell you, it made me depressed because I was
me too, man.
First of all, it was September. We were in the throes of a global pandemic. Haven't left the house in fucking months. And then I'm watching this fucking depressing movie. And at the end, I'm just like, the dude killed himself? Like this is an entire thought about ending his life? I'm thinking many things. Isn't ending a relationship? It's thinking about ending his fucking life. And then how does he do it? He gets out of his truck naked in a snowstorm and fucking dies in the snow.
And that maggoty pig leads him through the snow.
Yeah, like what the fuck? And I don't know if you let it play straight through to the end of the credits. But
no, I didn't.
The guy with the snowplow discovers the body.
Oh, okay.
I
halfway through the movie,
comes to clear the lot at the school, and the truck is buried under snow, and the dead guy's there.
Halfway through the movie, as I'm sitting there pondering whether I'm going to end it all, I was like, "Fuck Sal for making me watch this movie, man!" like Jesus, like I don't need this in my life right now.
No, I've seen a few of those like during the pandemic. Like, it's ugh.
But the thing that really where it started to really get kind of wild for me, and I realized, okay, this story is more than all right. Now I'm kind of getting what's going on. Is when they got to the barn, and
Okay.
and the sheep, and then the lambs are suddenly like dead next to the door there.
Yeah, that was weird. And he's like, "What are you gonna do with these lambs?"
Yeah, they're frozen. He's like, "Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
leave them there
look,
till
all right.
spring. They'll probably burn them or something. You know, what are you gonna? They're frozen. You can't do anything with them right now."
I think for me, and I wasn't even sure quite what was going on in the movie yet, was when they got to the house and the parents were upstairs.
Yeah.
And several times he said, "Oh, here they come, here they come," and then I was like, "Where?" Like, I didn't hear anybody come down the stairs. I didn't hear anyone say, "We're on our way down." Or he just, "Oh, here they come,"
Yeah.
and then it would be like 5 more minutes, and he would start talking about some other shit.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Oh, here they come." I'm like, "What the hell's going on here?"
The thing is, that was starting to build up a little anxiety with me. Not
Oh
just
yeah,
that,
it was.
but the fucking basement door. The
With
basement
tape
doors.
on it, the
Yeah.
scratches.
Yeah, that was like, what the fuck is going on there?
Yeah.
And then there's like a
but
dog,
it's
and then
much-
there's not a dog.
Yeah, and he kept shaking his head and
Yeah,
stuff.
like, what the fuck?
Oh, but then when she went into his bedroom, there was the urn there with the dog's name on it. It was like Jimmy, I think, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Wasn't the
yes.
dog's name Jimmy?
Yeah.
Yeah, his urn was sitting there in the bookshelf. I'm like,
Yes.
wait a minute, wait, what?
And then that's when it gets really weird because time starts to jump around. The
Oh my
fucking
God,
mom
yeah.
and dad, they're like really young, then they're really old, and it's like,
Oh.
what?
Then they're
Yep.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very wild. It was a very wild and confusing movie the first time watching it.
Yeah, I
I
gotta
mean-
watch it a second time.
But as you get towards the end, you begin to realize exactly what's going on. And then once they finally go to the high school, and I'm thinking, why the fuck are they going to the high school?
Pussycat.
Yeah, and then it breaks out into the fucking the
It's like a
dance.
musical.
Yeah, the dance scene in the fucking hallway.
And then it goes to Oklahoma.
Yeah, then he's on stage. It's
Yeah,
like,
they have that whole conversation about Oklahoma in the car, and then the final scene of the movie is before this car in the snow is him doing Oklahoma.
yeah, and then it ends with a standing ovation, but he starts crying on stage.
Fake old people.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild and depressing and terrifying. Terrifying.
yes.
Existential horror. Like my daughter said, "How'd you
Yeah,
like it?"
I was
I
gonna
said,
say it wasn't.
no,
like
it's not a
horror.
typical horror movie.
No, not at all.
Like, and even like when you say that
I guess-
Midsummer isn't a typical
Yeah,
horror movie. This is
Midsummer
even
and
less.
Hereditary, they're sort of not traditional.
It's
but
very
this-
much a psychological horror film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you're inside your thoughts. Like if you have these kind of thoughts, this is gonna mess with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the human experience is not a pleasant thing,
No.
and this points that out a lot.
And it makes you go, God damn it. God damn
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It was
Fuck.
it was a difficult movie to watch, and once you realized what was going on, it was even more like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a couple movies like that lately, and even TV shows that make you, you're watching it, you're thinking, oh, this is pretty wild, and then at the end you're like, oh fuck. Now
Yeah.
I realize what's really going on. Son of a bitch. But yeah, it's almost as if you had M. Night Shyamalan on fucking mushrooms to
Yeah.
write this movie. Because it has that same kind of twisted end, but it's all discombobulated. The storyline is all fucked up. The timeline seems to fucking jump around. They're getting there in a snowstorm, and then at one point they look out the window. It's not even snowing at all. Then it's just snowing only on their car
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nowhere else. And it's,
Oh,
like I said,
man.
it's because he is in mental distress, and he's thinking about suicide, and he's trying to rethink and relive his life, but the memories are so not fucking right that
Yeah.
the story is all fucked up. It was very, yeah,
Trippy.
yeah, very much so. But I definitely think it was worth watching. Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
as long as you're mentally stable enough to watch it, you should watch it.
Yeah, but don't look at it as a traditional horror. This is definitely
no, definitely.
again, I would call it an existential horror. It's basically, the thoughts in your head that you think that nobody else thinks about, but probably everyone does, and you're just like, oh fuck, this sucks.
Everybody's a little crazy, right?
Yeah,
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 we all go a little mad sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it though. I did. After I thought about it, and I got to watch it again to see if I can piece more together. But,
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
I definitely am of the mind that watching it more than once definitely is a rewarding experience because you will see things that you didn't see the first time around. And this time it won't be so dreadful because of the fact that you already know what it's about. You already know
what's going to happen.
What's going to happen, but you at least
Yeah.
can like kind of see these things. And I will say that Jesse Plemons, fucking spectacular acting. Like
it was awesome.
Everybody was.
It was phenomenal.
I was in awe of the skills of everyone that was in this movie.
Yeah, bravo.
Yeah, absolutely. It did win a bunch of awards,
Did it?
Yeah,
Nice.
the Boston Society Film Critic Awards got the Best Screenplay went to Charlie Kaufman. Best Editing went to Robert Friesen, the editor. Best Actress for Chicago Film Critics Association went to Jessie Buckley. Best Supporting Actress,
she was great.
Toni Collette.
Yeah, it was just awesome.
Best Editing, again, Robert Fraser won that award. The Dublin Film Critics Circle, Jessie Buckley won an award for Best Actress. Florida Film Critics Circle, Best Adapted Screenplay, Charlie Kaufman.
Florida doesn't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, well, Florida. We have the Best Screenplay from the IndieWire Critics Poll, went to Charlie Kaufman.
Nice.
And the St. Louis Film Critics Best Adapted Screenplay went to Charlie Kaufman. Now, it got nominated for a whole bunch more than that, but really, it was a great picture.
Netflix does it again.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like Netflix, they spend the right amount, they spend the right money on the right movies, I think.
Yep.
And then again with Charlie Kaufman, like the guy is phenomenal at directing and writing, and this is not his craziest works of all, actually. But yeah, this guy, very good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I when I give my rating though, I'm going to give it an asterisk because don't go into it expecting traditional horror.
No, definitely not. I will say. I don't know if you're familiar with Charlie Kaufman's work, but do you know like my favorite Charlie Kaufman film of all time before this one?
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? No.
That's the only other one of his I know. I haven't watched a whole lot of his stuff.
Being John Malkovich.
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
He wrote it and produced it, and he happened to actually convince John Malkovich to be in the fucking movie. That right there is everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, again. He wrote that movie. Fantastic.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, he wrote it. He didn't direct that one.
That was a good one. I like that one.
He did not direct that one. He did write it, though.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, Being John Malkovich, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which, again, he wrote that one and it was the executive producer. He did not direct it. And then, of course, I'm thinking of ending things. Let's give it a rating. So for me, although you're right, it is not a traditional horror movie. I would call it an existential horror movie or psychological thriller, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
But this, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars.
Okay, all right.
I agree. Yeah,
I was going to go 3.5, but we can do 3.
All right. So then we'll do American Nightmare Podcast gives it 3 stars, and we approve it. Go ahead and go see it.
Just don't watch it depressed.
Yeah, listen,
warning you now. Don't watch it if you're already in a bad state.
Yeah, if you're not of stable mind like I was during the pandemic when this thing came out, it's really depressing.
Oh, I could imagine, dude, because I was in a pretty good state of mind when I watched it, and at the end of it, I'm just like,
that's how
I'm gonna die tomorrow, probably.
That's how the devil all the time was for me too. I was like watching it, just going, "Oh man, this poor guy." You know what I mean?
There's nothing bright about that movie either.
This poor kid, just nothing. It's all shit in his life, you know. It's like,
yeah.
Yep.
All right, awesome, great. So let me just wrap up the show real quick. I'll say thank you everyone for listening to the American Nightmare Podcast.
Thanks.
The number of listeners is growing exponentially, it seems, every freaking week, which we're so happy to hear.
Thank you, listeners.
Tell your friends about it. And, of course, we need to get some feedback from you. So if you have any ideas, any suggestions for what we
please.
Yeah, what we should watch for some future podcasts, or any general feedback, or you think you have a great idea for a top 5 list.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, send us an email at feedback@the-american-nightmare.com. You can visit us on our website, the-american-nightmare.com, or on our Facebook group, The American Nightmare Podcast on Facebook. You'll also see that we are available on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts. We're available on Spotify. We're available on Google Podcasts. Pretty much any podcast service out there, I have us listed in those directories. So if you want to hear more, please subscribe and tell your friends.
Tell them all.
Yep, you'll hear us again next month. And until then, see you later.